back with another video. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who commented on my last video and gave me some tips for how to improve. I really appreciate the support. I got a ton of views on that video. I didn't expect anybody to watch it. So thank you guys so much for the support and for the feedback. I'm going to implement those suggestions going forward for sure. So yeah, thank you. A couple of you guys asked for a makeup tutorial. So here I am recording my everyday 15-minute face. This is the makeup that I do every day, going to work. Anytime I run in somewhere at the last minute, this is my go-to tutorial. I'm using a lot of Fenty beauty products, and I'll be sure to link everything down below. So if you like this look and you're interested in learning how to achieve it, stay tuned. Okay, so first I'm starting off with this Amorphe lip balm that I got off Amazon. It is a lip lightening salve, but it's also really moisturizing, just to get any chappedness off my lips while we do our makeup. Next, I am starting with the Revlon Grip Primer. I really love this stuff. As you can see, I have really oily skin. So I just put like a pea-sized amount on my finger. And I pay particular attention to my forehead. Get it around the eyes. And it's already gone to work. It got rid of a lot of that shine that was on my skin. And for extra protection, I use the accompanying blot powder that goes along with it. So, and then I go in with a fluffy brush and set the primer. And this really helps my makeup to last all day, especially in this Atlanta humidity. And I don't use very much of that. And it's a translucent kind of pink color powder, but it doesn't show up pink, as you can see, on my skin at all. All right, so next, I like to color correct. You can tell I have darkness around my eyes and around my mouth. I've always been like that. It's not scarring or anything. And I like to color correct it so that when my makeup goes on, it gives a full airbrushed look without any ashiness or cakiness. And so to do that, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix in the color Pumpkin 13. I love this, but it's very pigmented, so be careful. And I'm using a Real Techniques brush, foundation brush, and I just put a little dab on the tip, and then I'll kind of spread it out a little bit, if you can see. And then I'll go here and put the rest on my eyelids, and then go back and blend this. And the same on the eyelids. Then next I'll go in with this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. I use the color 146, which I believe is tan. This is like the exact color of my skin. So when I'm color correcting, I really like to use something that's my skin tone. And this is really good. I just go over the top of that color corrector and then using the same brush, and I still have, you can still see some of the discoloration. I mean, it's not full coverage, but this is just what I like to do before work every morning. And then I'll take whatever's left on the brush and maybe like cover up this birthmark, but there's not very much left on the brush. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I just remembered I had to turn the camera horizontally to record. So after color correcting, you can see that my face appears to be kind of all the same color. And that's really important for me because it's gonna provide a good base to the rest of our makeup. So now I'm gonna go in, because this is a powder foundation look, I conceal first. So I'm going in with Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 350. And I'm just gonna go in a triangle shape under my eyes. Then I'll do a little bit on the forehead, a stripe down the nose, and whatever's left on the brush I put on the chin. For this, you can use either that same concealer brush or you can use a sponge, which is what I'll be using. So I'm taking this wet egg-shaped sponge and I'll be blending out under my eyes and forehead. Now with this concealer, there's no need to let it dry down. When it dries, it's really hard to move and work with, even with a wet sponge. You can see now I've let it dry more than I normally do, and it's streaking. So I wouldn't recommend that with the Pro Filter, you let it dry. See, sometimes it gets so dry you have to literally wipe it to get it to move and blend. It's a great concealer though. I don't mean that to say it's not a good product. Okay, so next I'm going to be going in with my powder foundation, which is also Fenty. You can tell I really like Fenty products. This is the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation, and I use shade 420. This is my summer shade, and in the winter I wear 410. And I'm going in with this Sonia Kashuk brush, foundation brush. It's just any flat, soft bristle brush will do. I'm just going in with that. And I'm gonna start applying it to all of the areas where I don't have concealer. And make sure to blend it down, blend it out. Now this is not full coverage. I don't like wearing full coverage every day. I don't think I need it. But I will upload a full coverage makeup tutorial. But for every day, I think this gets the job done. I think this is beautiful. It gives me an airbrush finish. Now, what I also like to do is use the powder to blend out the edges of the concealer. So if you can see, I'm not going directly over the concealer, but I'm going around the edges of it. And the chin, I mean, I'll kind of go over that just because I really want that mouth area to get blended out. And I blend it up into the hairline. Okay, so there's that. And what I mean by it's not full coverage, let me just show you that birthmark that I have here. You can still see it, which I'm okay with that. Next, I'm going in with another Fenty product, the Fenty Pro Filter Setting Powder in the shade Honey 5. I love this. I love this. This is what really makes the makeup the makeup. I'm taking this e.l.f., I think it's a blush brush, but I like it for under eye because it's tapered. You can see how it's kind of pointed at the top. I love that. So I'm just gonna dip it into the powder and go right up under the eye and blend, 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 blend. I don't bake because the skin under my eyes is really dry. Now, if I'm doing a full coverage makeup and I'm going for a really high glam look, I'll add more powder than normal. But for every day, this is how I like to do it. And I'll just make sure I'm working it into my crow's feet there. And I press it just up against, see how this brush just fits perfectly in the tear duct nose area? I'll just push the powder up in there. Then for the forehead, just tap, 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 and down the nose. I also don't contour my nose a whole lot because I have such a small nose, but I do a little just so that my face won't look flat. And I'll show you that in just a second. Okay. Now for contouring, I'm using this Morphe face palette in the color 8R, That's Rich. And this is perfect for medium skin tone. I love this. This is amazing. And using another Sonia Kashuk brush. I got these brushes at Target a few years ago, and they've still held up. I actually think it was more than a few. It's probably several years ago, but they're really good brushes and really high quality. So I like to just go in this bronzer shade, the darkest bronzer shade. This is contour. So we've got a contour, two bronzers, a highlighter, two blushes, and two highlights in this palette. So going into that darker bronzer shade, I'll go into the hollows of my cheeks and blend upward and toward my mouth. So just taking this angular brush and I blend back into the hairline and up toward my face. And blending upward is what's going to give you that really snatched look. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you can already see a difference. This side of my face looks much thinner than this side. I still have that baby face. Okay, taking that same color, I'm going to do the chin and jawline. And the same idea here, just along that jawline, under, but I like to get it a little along the face. That's what's really gonna, blending upward is what's gonna give you that snatched look. Okay, and then I'll take just a little bit more and blend around the hairline. But because I have a small forehead, I don't do too much contouring of the forehead. Now next, I'm gonna take, I think this is another Sonia Kashuk brush from Target. It's got a dome top. I like bigger blush brushes because I don't like a lot of concentrated color. I like for it to blend and buff out really well. So I take this bigger brush and go into this light blush color. There's a matte blush and a glittery blush in this one. So I'm just going into the matte one. And I'm going to go onto the apples of my cheeks and blend upward in that same motion that we used for the contour. put a little too much on, so I'm just gonna. And if you ever make a mistake like this, just blend, 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 blend. And then what you can do is take your foundation brush and kind of go over it to soften that color. Okay, so we're 90% of the way done. I know that this probably looks a little crazy right now, kind of stripy, kind of patchy. It's not blended. The key is going to be your setting spray. So I'm using that same Revlon Color Stay locking spray, the same as the primer and the translucent powder. I use a lot of powders in my makeup because I do have oily skin, really, really oily skin. And I used to struggle with liquid foundations running off my face. All my papers at work would be covered with makeup. So one day I decided I have to wear powder foundation, and everything else in my makeup routine was already powder, but it just worked out. It works for me. This tutorial will probably not work for you if you have really dry skin. So I'm going to shake this up and just spray. And I spray a lot. Again, number one, because I want it to last all day. But number two, because that setting spray is going to help everything meld together and look flawless. So while that is doing its thing, we'll work on the eyebrows. So I'm using the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the color, I believe this is deep brown. And I just brush. I need to have them threaded. Excuse me. Brush them upward. And what I like to do is take the pencil and draw on the bottom of my brows. And then across the top. And then I'll just go in and use some light strokes to fill in. Now the key is to go back and brush the front so that they don't look too harsh, and to blend out those two lines that you just put in. Okay, so there's the difference. Just filling that in. Now I know some people may not do their brows like this. They may think this is an outdated way to do it, but it works for me. It works for me. It's simple, it's easy. When you're getting ready in the morning, or at least when I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm probably overslept. I don't have time to be doing the most. Next, I'm going to go in with the CoverGirl Clear Mascara just to set the brows in place. And I just over them, make sure they're all going, the hairs are going the way I want them to. All right, finally, for the eyes, I am using the Sephora Size Up Mascara in the shade just Ultra Black, and the Sephora Black Ink Felt Tip Liner Pencil, or, well, it's liquid liner, but it's got a felt tip. And this is for work, so no eyeshadow or anything like that. I just go along the lash line. This is hard to do on camera, but we're getting it done. just as close to the lash line as possible. And sometimes I like to use a nude liner in my waterline. Just to brighten up the eyes, just a little. And then finally, mascara. I barely have eyelashes, y'all, but this is helping me. I don't wear lashes to work, and I haven't taken the plunge to getting lash extensions. I don't know why, but for some reason it freaks me out. I don't know. I am not afraid of people being near my eyes. Probably because it's so expensive, honestly. It's like $100, and you gotta go back every 3 weeks. I'm like, I already gotta pay to get my nails done. Okay. And then finally, my favorite lip combination is NYX lip liner in the color Chestnut and NYX soft matte cream lip color in the shade Rome. And I'll just start at the bottom and line. I feel like these two colors mimic the natural shades of my lip. There's that. And then I forgot one thing. Let me go back and show you guys how I do a little tiny bit of contour around the nose and eyes. I'll go into my contour palette in that same contour shade, bronzer shade, and just go above the eyes and down the nose. This is a way to also make it, to cheat and make it look like you have on eyeshadow and you don't. And that just helps my nose to actually stand out from my face and give my eyes a little definition. I am on Zoom calls all day. We have Zoom court, and sometimes I look real dead on the camera. But anyway, here is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. This is just my natural, everyday makeup look. My go-to for everyday running late. This usually takes me about 15 minutes to do in the morning. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I'll link all of the products down below, and take care. Thanks for watching. So I'm also going to show you guys how I do my edges. I'm using the Kiss Edge Fix Max Hold. This is the flavor Sweet Lychee, but you can use whatever flavor you like. I'll just take a little glob. Now I have 4C hair. I think it's 4B, 4C. And this is, I got the recommendation for using this from Monroe Steele NYC. She has hair that looks like it's similar texture to mine, and she showed us this product. So I thought I'd give it a try, and it works. It doesn't last all day. I mean, hardly anything lasts all day. I'm not an expert at edges, y'all. I don't even do edges for real. I just got these braids, and I'm trying to make them last a little longer. But anyway, I'm spreading the love, spreading the knowledge to all my 4C girls. Get you some of this because it works. At least for a few hours, unlike anything else that I use that as soon as I walk out the door, it melts. And I just got this little edge brush from the beauty supply.